Welcome back to some more Android Netrunner with a focus on, pardon me. Let me deal with this real quick. There we go. Welcome back to some more Android Netrunner with a focus hopefully on uh, Peddler Draft today. I am not sure what the evening is going to bring. I would absolutely love to play some more Peddler Draft, so if anyone's up for some Peddler Draft on stream, let me know. But unless and until I actually get a game going, I figured I might take some crack at doing some development and pushing. There's a couple, I mentioned before, there's a few different directions of things to focus on. One is, I think this is the culprit that is slowing down the startup time significantly. It looks like I'm setting up a data pull from my database, and then I'm pulling from the database, but I'm pulling one child, and then pushing a return to that child, and then looping and doing that again one by one for every card in the card pool. So Eternal will take 4 times longer than Startup, for example, because there's just 4 times as many cards or whatever. And it's hundreds of database accesses. In theory, I could recode this by, instead of refing child by child by child, I could go out of the loop, take one pull for the entire card pool ref, the database ref, just from the root, and then do all my manipulation onto an object with it here, and then at the very end push it back to the root and then be done with it. So that's a fix that should speed things up considerably, but I know my ability with async and file IO is limited. It's probably going to take me an hour to solve, or more or less, I don't know, but I think that might be future me's problem. Probably. Uh, what is loop more equals false? Why are we looping more? While loop more, let loop more equals true. Do this if full new data links on next. Oh, right. That's fine. That's because the version 3 of the Peddler deck of the API doesn't let you pull more than 1,000 records at once. Anywho, I think what we'll do next. The next thing I was going to do was maybe give a focus on the question of duplicates. So first things first, I need to know how bad is the duplicate problem, and second, how solvable is it, and if I should care. I think the one thing that I'm absolutely convinced about is ID duplicates are not fun. It is rare that you are offered an ID, pass it, or offered it again, and you want it, especially now that we're guaranteeing an ID in the first round. And it's even rarer that, and it's common that I'm offered an ID that I was already offered. That sucks. So I'm going to look for my code for where I'm pushing the IDs into the draft deck and put replace what I have now with something which actually removes it from the available pool, so that we don't keep adding it. I'll just do this. Okay, cat corp IDs. Separate everything out. Let ID rounds equals 3 times the math of ceiling of ratios times number ratio. That's good. Let temp equals cap corp IDs. Sure. Okay. If we're playing both sides, make a big ID pool. Okay, that's fine. And then we start playing the game. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's fine. It's just Twitch stuff. Okay. Push through ID rounds. If we're random, do that. If not, do that. Okay, for runner or for both sides is okay. So there's very naive here. Actually, yeah, this is a very naive approach. Wait, console log warning IDs are. Oh yeah, this is fine. This is fine. How do I change this? I don't need to preserve the validity of cat corp IDs and cat run IDs after this step. So what I could do is expand out the code to check that the IDs thing isn't empty. Okay. If you do a break statement from within here, how far does it break? Should break out of the for loop, I would think. But even if it doesn't, that's okay. So we're doing ID rounds. If cat corp IDs dot length equal to 0, break. So if I'm correct, that will get us out of this if statement here, or even out of the for loop, but I'm not sure. So we're going to need to set a breakpoint to make sure that that's working the way it is when the time comes to test this. In the meantime, what we're going to do now, I like the draft offer.deck push. That's fine. Get a random ID from here. That's fine. But instead of pushing a member, we need to splice out this member. And I think I have splice code somewhere that does this. Let me find it. Curated cartridge, the draft offer.deck splice A1 of 0. So this pulls the 8th member off of the draft offer deck, removes it, and puts it in here. And that's kind of what I need. So here in the doopty-doopty-doo corpo, we'll need to go draft offer deck dot push. The thing we're going to be pushing here. Actually, I can worry about this one last. I want to test it right away on this. The thing we're going to be pushing here is draft offer deck dot splice. Well, not draft offer deck. We're going to be doing cat corp IDs dot splice. We're not taking the 8th element. We're taking the tilt index cat corp ID length k element. We don't need the curly brace because we're not using an index. We are splicing it, so we do need that. And where does this come in? The arguments for splice need to be a comma. No, we're wrong here. We don't need an A. The A is irrelevant. The arguments are cat corp ID, are what index do we splice? That would be the equivalent of what I had as A. Take one space from there, and then return that element of the array, not the array itself. Good. Then close the push, then close the line of code, then close the curly brace. If I am correct, this would allow for what I'm trying for. And instead of making this a break statement, I can say I can do a not equals. As long as there's at least one ID available, do all this fun stuff. Now I allow for the possibility of us running out of IDs because we're removing them as we go. And then I don't need this breakpoint, in theory. But let's keep the breakpoint because it'll make debugging this a hell of a lot easier. And we'll put it over here by has ID. Okay. Time to test, huh? Let's go ahead and use an appropriate small sample size of startup. Are we doing? I think this was all set up corps, right? This is all cat corp IDs. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do cat corp. We'll do a ridiculously high number of cards so that we guarantee that we run out of IDs, and we start the game. Also, it just occurred to me that trying to get 300 Peddler Drafts set up might take a very long time, depending on... No, actually, I don't have to check power for them, so it shouldn't take too long. Did I hit an infinite loop or an error in execution? No. Oh, I hit a breakpoint, naturally. Good. I should have hit a breakpoint. Let's look at the draft offer deck. The draft offer deck has successfully had a precision design identity added. Very good. Continue. What else? Are we not hitting continue here? Oh, right, we are, but I have to actually open it again to see that now 6 cards have been added. Pravdivost, Built to Last, Jinteki, Isuak. Okay, good. So The draft offer deck is filling up with the appropriate number of identities. Let's do. There are 28 agendas available. Cat Corp IDs is running out, as it should. Step forward, forward. We are pushing them one by one. We are running out, we are running out, we are running out. That was the last ID. It didn't send an error, so that's promising. If we look at the draft offer deck, it is 12. And what is the ID rounds right now? 36. So we need a lot more IDs. What happens next? That's promising. Code didn't crash. It also never entered the statement again. And it started the game. Good. Now, if I know my code correctly, the draft offer deck will still be the correct size. 897. So that's plus 3 is 900 divided by 300 rounds. Yep, perfect. And it should offer me every ID, but not all at the front. Okay, we did it, boys. We've got one of every ID being offered. And now we have a new quandary where we don't want to guarantee you that if you ever want an ID, you'll get it. And we only are putting one copy of each ID in. So is that too good? Is that too powerful? That's too powerful. So now our ID ratios really should become more sparing. You shouldn't be offered a fixed percentage of all available. I mean, it can be offered a fixed percentage, but it needs to be small. Startup is kind of a special case, so it's always going to be. That is actually a fine question. Just how many IDs are we actually wrong? Reference. Let's say hypothetically we are loading an eternal card pool. What exactly is Cat Corp ID looking like here? Give me 1 second, y'all. Quick BRB actually. I'll be right back, y'all. And I return. Okay, so it's working with an asterisk because I'm only seeing 2 IDs total. Maybe I'm blind? 3 oh, no. It's because corp IDs aren't guaranteed to be at the front of the pack anymore. That's what. So we've got 3 corp IDs at the front of the pack. We've got our agendas. We've got our ICE, assets, ops, upgrades. Nope, there's only 3 IDs in the whole darn thing. That's very little. Why would there only be 3 IDs? What were my settings again? 40 card draft. I mean, to be fair, it's GameNet and Wayland Consortium's Builder of Nations, so those are some pretty sweet IDs. I guess if it's 5% of the draft and 30 rounds, 5% of the draft should still be like 6 IDs. What gives? I don't know if I... I'm gonna try rerunning it and see if I get a different result. I mean, bad luck is bad luck, but still. So what were we doing? Eternal card pool, corp, just standard. Go. Let's see what happens. All right, so we've got some really good IDs here. Let's say hypothetically we're running Blue Sun, and go back to my debugger. So we just did the first 3 IDs. Rex campaign. And there's also SSO in here, outfit, and New Angeles. So okay, good. So that's 6. That's fine. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with this. If you're playing on startup, you're going to see a lot of IDs, possibly all of them, but you won't get duplicates. Fine. Good enough. And now we have to implement the same code for the runner. So let's do that next. Shouldn't be too hard. Alright, where were we? If cat corp IDs dot length equals 0. Okay, if corp or runner is equal to runner, then if cat runner IDs dot length not equal to 0, that's full random. Do I want to also implement that same? No, because full random is full random. You get screwed. That's part of the game. If you want full random, you shall have it. I might 180 on that decision someday, but not yet. So now we do cat run IDs dot splice the tilt index of cat run IDs dot length comma k comma 1 with a 0 brace. Close. Self plagiarism. The only way any coding anywhere ever gets done. Oh, we never pushed it. We need to push it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Next, agendas. Do we want to offer duplicate agendas? Yes. Do we want to set a cap on how many duplicate agendas we offer? Not especially. Oh, what just happened here? Is this actually a problem? Did I mess something up? Function never closes. That's a bad sign. It means I mismatched my parentheses. If you're the runner, then if is full random do nothing, else if draft offer deck dot push cat run IDs has IDs. This is closed correctly. This is not closed correctly. This is closed correctly. I think. This is closed correctly. This is closed correctly. I think. This is closed correctly. This never gets closed. And that needs to get closed. There you go. There. That should fix everything. Okay. Let me quickly put out a looking for game message. Where's the looking for game? Find online games. Here you go. Alrighty, let's see what's next. Agendas. I think I do want to offer multiples of agendas, but I don't know that I want to offer. You know, it's okay if somebody has 5 AstroScript pilot programs. That's actually kind of cool. I'm okay with that. We do ice. We offer the same ice more than once. Again, probably okay. Push icebreakers. I kind of hate getting the same icebreaker over and over and over. It's definitely a buff to the runner, though, if they can't have that happen. But there's got to be a roof to it. Oh, you know what we'll do? Let's do this. Let's do this. When we set up the console deck, no, that's a bad way to code it. Let's do it the opposite. No, that's okay. It's okay. Actually, it's not going to matter based on what I'm going to do next. Let double cat consoles, or let cat consoles double equal cat consoles. Okay, and now cat consoles double dot push, and there should be a way to do like dot 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 cat consoles, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to do. Let me look where I did it to IDs and make sure it's the same syntax. I'm very, very bad at JavaScript new syntax for me, so I have to double check my code against itself to make sure it does what I want it to. ID rounds, temp equals cat corp IDs, temp dot push dot 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 cat run IDs. Yeah, okay, so this is the syntax that I need. Dot push. Okay, so now we've made a double size. Everything in this is duplicated in this, and we need to sort it. Have at least one place that I sort based on power. This is it. And we do cat consoles or cat consoles double dot sort. Okay, so now we have created cat consoles doubled the original cat consoles, pulled it in. So now what we're gonna do is the same push splice code is full random is 1, whatever. But if it's not full random, then instead of pushing from cat consoles, we push from cat consoles double with the same tilt index and this and this and this and this. But then what we do is we splice instead of pushing the element. So we push the splice of the tilt index. We take one of those, please, and we'd like the element itself returned. Thank you. And that should do it for the splice. And then we would push that whole quantity and we'd send it out. Now this way, we will give you 2 copies of consoles, but we won't give you 3, 4, and 5 offering the same console over and over and over. So it's reasonable. You might even want 2 copies of your console. Who knows? Push cat consoles double dot splice tilt index of cat consoles dot length comma k comma 1 push. Okay, good. This code seems correct. We also need to have a sanity check though. So we'll do that here. Just a simple and statement would work. And cat consoles double dot, isn't it double cat console? No, we have it correct. Dot length not equal to 0 or is greater than 0. So if somehow it goes negative, I don't want that to foul this code up. Okay. Draft offer dot deck cat consoles double dot splice tilt index cat consoles double dot length comma k comma 1 comma 0 blah 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 blah. Okay, so if we did that correctly, we should now be minimizing the duplication of consoles, IDs, agendas I want duplicated, ice I want duplicated, econ, I want it to not be heavily duplicated, but I don't think there's enough econ cards in the game to push that. Honestly, just not having too many IDs would be enough for me for now. And yep, that'll do it. I'll do it. I could work on the power code at this stage, but honestly, that thought just exhausts me. I need to be more awake for that. I don't think I'm awake enough for that right now. Okay, yeah, so forget about that. Let's push this onto my live instance. Okay, and unless I'm terribly mistaken, that should have worked. That's it. Yep. Okay. So let's see if there's any interest. Oh, oops. Let's see if there's any interest in playing a game. I somehow doubt it at this stage. I think anybody who would have wanted to be doing a peddler draft has already jumped in by now and is ready to go. But you never know. Maybe streaming. Anyone up for a peddler draft? And then put the website. ANR, peddle me this Batman. All right. And let's see if anybody says yes. In the meantime, we I would prefer to play the runner because I did a corp already, but I'm happy to play either side. Oh, the other thing that I need to do is get around to doing is actually trying to see if I should update scale and push the power rankings. Sengrin was kind enough to set that up with card ID and power ratings from Trash Robusto, Trash Robusto, and I think that even if it's just a tilt, it'll be helpful because where we're at right now, some of these card powers that I've got are just not very varied, and therefore not as much as the power scaling and curving is all good. It doesn't actually add up to a super pointed experience, I guess. What I'm trying to say. Well, if nobody joins, nobody joins. But damn it, I'm making a deck. Okay, so here's the deal. We don't have a good curated cube or anything like that. We're just doing randos. Let's see if we can make a reasonable corp, where by reasonable, what I mean is this would work against a rival that was also making a peddler draft. Instead of drafting to 30 card minimum, we're going to draft to 40. When you draft to a 40 card minimum, add 20%. So that's what? Like 48. So we'll draft 50. But because we're the corp, we add 5. The runner only gets to draft 50. We get 55. We're going to go dead middle of the power curve, not high, not low. We'll allow banned cards. Why not? But we will exclude currents. Normally, I don't exclude banned cards, but I feel like, hey, this time let's do it. All right, let's go for it. And if I notice glitches while I'm playing, I have the bug squashing apparatus at my disposal. Actually, did I close VS Code? It looks like I closed VS Code. Let me throw that bad boy back on real quick, just so that I have that bad boy at my disposal. Okay, Peddler Draft. Let's go. The outfit. Take bad publicity, get more money. That can be good if you have an entire rush deck built to it, but it's not a good generic ability. Gaining credits for advancing. Now that's a good generic ability. Every agenda needs to be advanced. So, good enough. 4-2 Cyberdeck Sandbox. Whenever the runner encounters this ice, trace, and if successful, give the runner a tag. That's nasty. That's a really nice irritant to put on a piece of ice that they have to keep running into and paying 3, or running into and taking a tag. And then removing it later. That's very NBN. I actually didn't know Eavesdrop was a card in the game, to be honest. I have no idea when it's from. I think Cyberdeck Sandbox is too good to say no to. It gives you back. It pays you back for having scored it, and it can potentially combo with other things I might get. On Cell is wonderful. Turnpike is irritating and cheap and good in every way that counts. And Send a Message is not the best 5/3 available, but it does combo well with a lot of stuff that I might otherwise get, and it does fill a nice scoring pattern of 3/2/2 or something like that. I'm gonna pass on Send a Message for now and go with Turnpike because it's just such a good piece of ice. I might regret this. I don't know. We'll see. These are all so good. Friends in High Places. Just it can put 7 to 8 credits worth of trashables on the board and jumpstart and reboot your economy. Standoff. When you score standoff, each player starting with a runner trashes an installed card. The runner declines. If the runner declines, draw a card and gain 5 credits. So score standoff, runner trashes something that they don't care about. I trash something that I do care about because I don't have any other options. They say I ain't doing it. I get a card and 5 credits. And a 2-0 agenda. This is one of those agendas that if I know for a fact I'm going to do something else with the oh, I don't have to score it either. I can leave it sitting there as a 2-0, let it get stolen, and bait my opponent through a nasty server. I can sack it to any number of ice that res with sacking. Distract the masses is the worst. You pay the runner for the privilege of oh, you don't have to trash from HQ. It's optional. Trash up to 2 from HQ and then shuffle. So this is the Jackson Howard replacement that gets rid of agendas and shuffles them out. But it's not instant speed, so you can't leave agendas in the trash till the last minute with it. It's probably good enough to include, but I like Friends in High Places. I guarantee you I'll have at least one asset it's worth spending on. Okay, there's another send a message. Send a message here. I don't predict having enough econ or enough runner poverty or enough asset spam that Reaper function goes unnoticed. I think I have to put this in a server to protect it, and it's not good enough there. I don't want to pay 7 credits to res a Vampire and Nasa. Even if every bit of it hits, they lose 2, I gain 2, do 2 net damage and draw a card. It still doesn't feel as nice to have a 4 strength code gate. So yeah, we'll take send a message. Install 1 piece of ice from HQ or archives in any position at instant speed, ignoring all costs. That's nice, but Tithonium is so beautiful. Tithonium is a big ass barrier that can res out of nowhere. It's got double trash a program and trash a resource and end the run. If your opponent face plants into this, it can end their game. You can do it off of 0 credits, as long as you have an agenda to get rid of. Granted, I didn't keep the standoff, and I'm thinking like I had, even though I didn't. I think I take the Tithonium and just don't use it, or use it if it turns out that now I can make good use of it. I mean, there's a lot of good on this card. Well, or do I want a 4/2 that doesn't do anything? Yeah, no thank you. Okay, this is the 3rd send a message I've been offered, which I guess is technically appropriate. Play only if the runner has fewer than 6 credits. As an additional cost, remove a tag. Trash 1 install card. Seriously? Wow, you know, later on they would give NBN this card, except it bounces 2 cards back to hand. I think I'm taking 2 send a messages, to be honest. I know I hate to do that, but it also gives me a cromulent agenda suite now. I don't have to take all prior X. I can go 3/3, 3/3, and a 2/1 eventually, or something like that. Also, if it gets stolen and I res Big Ice, I'm happy. Hey, you know that one I was talking about? There it is. Recursion only makes sense if I have something worth recurring. Mwanza is interesting. Whenever the runner accesses cards, he accesses a bunch more cards, and after that, I gain a bunch of credits for each card he accessed. If I knew I could control my hand better, I would keep that. I don't know that, but it's 5 to trash. Yeah, but it doesn't go away. Yeah, but oh my god, I could get paid 4 credits the first time and 6 credits the next. Yeah, but I'm running 5/3 agendas, so even 1 steal is a big deal. I kinda wanna take a 3/1 because it fits my score 5/3s out to win the game pattern right now. I think I'm gonna take this. I don't know why yet. I think I'd rather have an option of an ID than none. Yeah, we don't take all send a messages, but if we did, this would be one of them. Well, I mean, it's better than blockchain. Corp gains a credit and the runner loses a credit. The corp gains loses 1 credit before all its other subroutines for every 2 face-up transaction operations and archives. So if I'm reading this correctly, blockchain in this situation does nothing special, costs 7 to res, and is 4 strength barrier. That does pay back 1 credit and tax slightly. If I had 4 operations that played into it, it still wouldn't be enough. He or she is never going to be tagged, so I guess it's send a message. Yeah. It's obviously Prysec here. I remember Slot Machine being good, and I don't remember why. 5 strength is good. Runner loses 3 credits is good. And you seeing the top 3 cards of their stack is good. Ooh, I just heard the somebody's here alarm. Let's jump in, Jackie. Howdy. Doing a Peddler Draft. Would you like to join me? Because it looks like he may have missed that part of the thing. And I'll post a link here. You pick from semi-random offerings of 3 cards. Go through and draft around 50 cards. Then build a deck. Cards can be cross-faction, no influence limit or agenda restrictions. Yep. And then You go for it. I'm doing a corp draft right now. But yeah, some other time. Good luck, have fun. All right. Sweet. All right, so I'm gonna hop back into my build. Yeah, I like slot machine here. I don't like that I'm leaving Nasex on the table, especially since I have friends in high places and literally nothing to use it on. But I'm 10 cards into a 55 card draft, so by the grace of God, I'll be okay. I also don't have a lot of ice that feels good to res yet, and slot machine feels very good to res. It's irritating to go through every time. It's 5 to strength, so it's hard to break trivially. The runner is exiting the card from RD, they must reveal it. When the runner exits the card, remove one bad publicity unless they take one tag. Well, I won't have a bad publicity, so they won't be using this. Taking bad publicity, but it's a 5 to trash. Can I get both of these at the same time? I'm looking at fast break, obviously. I don't want my opponent to have more than 2 cards out of my agenda suite, so these are all terrible. Of these, this is the least playable. This is somewhat playable. This is less playable. Yeah, this is probably the best of the options. I don't have to res it, and therefore it doesn't have to be a liability, right? Yeah, I don't have to res it, so it doesn't have to be a liability. Anansi is clutch because I have 3 send a messages to get it resed. Owanza, Daruma. Into asset or upgrade from HQ. Yeah. Solve card installed in the server with either another card installed in the server. So what this means, if I'm reading it correctly, is they approach the server and I say, okay, good job, you got in, but I'm not giving you my agenda. And then I swap it into HQ. But I need to have an alternative asset upgrade or agenda. It's really good if you have the right stuff. I would love to put snares and traps in my remote server at instant speed, but that's just not going to happen. Let's go Mwanza. Well, okay, wait. Do you even look at Winchester? Okay, so it's a 3-4-3, so if it's not broken, it's taxing, like 7 to 10 credits taxing. They're not going to want to lose hardware and programs. They can break it for 3 credits plus a boost, so it's not terrible. It's a good mid-range. I'm tempted to take it. It's a good HQ annoyance size. It's not a hard stop. And we've already discussed why Mwanza is a dangerous way to make money for me. Turnpike is great ice. We have a couple of them now. Hangeki. Play only if the runner trashed a corp card during his or her last turn. That'll definitely happen. Choose an installed corp card. The runner may access the card. If he does, remove it from the game instead of trashing it. Otherwise, add it to the... So it's saying access this card or take a -1 point. Well, I'm not Jinteki, so that won't be effective here. Top stack is not bad. Okay, we'll take a Mwanza, damn it. Yes! Yes! Okay, now we have options. Sailor Adaptive Barrier is really cool. +1 strength for each piece of ice means it comes in as a 4/3 and it gets stronger the deeper it gets. But big, strong barriers aren't actually that effective, and I already have a Tiffy. But NBN controlling the message is just evil. It's a lot of value throughout the game, even without having to do anything. And that's really cool. So I think, I mean, compared to build to last and precision design, it's no question controlling the message. Now I'm setting myself up. Do I have any tag punishment at all? None. Okay. Now I'm willing to think in terms of reversed accounts. That's another thing you want to install and advance or double advance in a well-defended remote that has Anansi Antithonium on it, potentially. The top card of R&D and gain 2 credits. That's not great. Making the opponent lose a bunch of money is good. Getting money myself would be better, and I don't have a good source of income. I'll take a Bladderwort. Now I definitely want assets that they don't want to pay to trash. Mesnitesvo is pretty irritating. We take that. Ganked is hugely valuable. We definitely take that. I don't have enough advanceable ice to make this the pick that I'm switching over, but Fast Break is so bad. Self-adapting Code Wall, I mean, it's terrible, but it's something. I might play it. Install one card, paying all costs, using this ability immediate. Trash, install one card, paying all costs, use this ability immediately after playing an operation. Why would I ever use this? I guess it can technically install an agenda, so if the operation gives me a click and I trash this, I install a 4-2 and I advance, 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 advance. Maybe? Or if I have subliminal messaging and then I trigger it like that. Henry Phillips is just irritating enough to work if I have controlling the message tags building up. Maybe. Sting, I don't have enough support for. Double click to break 2 subs. Core damage, core damage. This is terrible. You pay 6, they double click, and then they never worry about it again until they can break it cheaply. A 4-2 is. A 3-1 is bad for me because I'm already running a lot of 5-3s. So it gives them an easy way to win off of me. To give them. But I also need the 3-1 to win. I guess how do I win? Do I win by scoring 2 5-3s and 1 3-1? I have 25 more slots to figure that answer out. I think I can afford to take a Sting in the meantime. And taxing them with a Sting is a good deal. No, it's the other player's square plus. Yeah, so it's 1 net damage. It's not actually that good. It's actually quite bad. Yeah, but drawing 3 cards just because you scored an agenda is actually worse. Divested Trust. Oh no, there's an agenda. The runner steals another agenda. You may forfeit this agenda to gain 5 and take that agenda back. So I can turn my 5-3 into a not game over, I guess. It's better than a 6-2. Oh, SSL endorsement. I'm a simple man. I'm running 5-3s and I have an SSL endorsement available. All I need is 2 more 5-3s and then I have 6 5-3s, and all I need then is some way to get the last point. So we're good. Afshar is nice. Henry Phillips is irritating, but I already took an irritant, so I'll take an Afshar. We definitely take bladder warts now that we protect them. Doing it public, whenever you advance hosted agenda, gain a credit. That's so bad. It's awful. Project Atlas is kind of sort of amazing for me. I think how this is going to shake out is 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, and another 3, 1, 16. And I win the game by scoring install double advance, and then the last one I install face down and triple advance win. And I go Glacier. And if they steal this, and so they need to steal 3, but I also need to score 3. Refuge campaign is actually quite good. It's 4 to trash and 4 to trace to not take a tag. That's quite good. Oh, it's 0 to trash, but 0 to trash when you take a tag search is still painful. If successful, add an installed program or virtual resource to the grip. Ignore this ability to render access intake from archives. Well, they won't. So yeah, we'll take this. Beal's very good for my deck actually, because it can be the 5-3 I need if I've already scored the 3-1, 3-2, or it can be a 3-2. So now it's, what are we at? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18. That's kind of good, but do I want daily quest more? A daily quest behind a Tithonium, a daily quest behind an Anansi. Either of those are really good. And I can just sit there until the runner decides that it's worth going to hell and back for. But then I leave a Beal behind. Beal is so flexible and so effective in its flexibility. Let me actually move this over to my other screen so I can see that live just in case someone else is coming. So challenging. I thoroughly enjoy this decision making, but damn, it's not easy. If I res this for 1 and the runner doesn't make a go of it and I get 2 credits, and the runner doesn't make a go of it and I get 3 credits, that's really, really, really good. It does require a successful run on this server. Whenever your turn begins, gain 3 credits. So I won't get the money the turn they go to trash it, even if they don't trash it, but I will get them to run through. So it needs ice. So how much ice am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on very little ice. I need a lot more ice. I need to focus on giving myself more ice in the next several clicks, even if it's just mediocre ice. Because I'm not glacier enough for the level of glacier that I'm trying to be. I think we take this. Like, if I think objectively to how little money I've got 1, 2, something I don't want to play 3, 4, something I don't want to play 5, maybe effective 1 day 6. Is Henry Phillips whenever gain 2 credits? So if I can get the runner to run while tagged, Henry Phillips pays out big. But since the runner will never run while tagged, they'll remove the tag for sure. It's not likely to go off the way I want it to. Let's do daily quest. We need money, so we'll take it. Hey, we got a second sting, and we got a stinking painful anvil. If we take the second sting, when a player scores or steals this, do X net damage. When it sells, it's X net damage. Best case scenario, he steals 1, I score 1, he takes 1, 2 net damage. And I'm stuck with multiple 3-1s. Then again, I only need a 3-1 to win. If I've scored 2 3-2s, I only need a 3-1. No, if I'm running any 3-2s, then I probably want 3-2, 3-2, 5-3. I don't want to go 5-3, 5-3, 3-1 unless I have to. Anvil is better. We'll take Anvil. Core damage. Do I care about core damage? Not really. Forfeit an agenda? Ha, forget that. Yeah, there's no situation in which I forfeit an agenda and still win the game. Fairchild. Pay 4 credits, trash a card, and take a core. So 8 credits, a card, and a core means it's porous the one time it needs to not be. But it is, in fact, something I desperately need, a big-ass piece of ice. We can go low or high. I'm tempted to say go low is better. I don't think it's likely that my opponent is just going to let me get a massive board state. And if he does, 2 credits per turn refuge campaign is probably a priority target. But you know what? I need to start leveraging that I'm an NBN, so we go for this. Embolus. When you're trying to pay credit plus power card with this upgrade. The run makes a successful run, remove one power card discovery, end the run, useful entering on this server. So they can make a successful run on any server to stop me from getting in. They can run Embolus looks really good, but I don't think it is. Because unless I have the entire board locked down, nothing that I'm reading here stops them from saying run archives, run archives, run archives, run where I need to go. and they've just diffused me spending 1 credit per turn tax for 3 turns while nursing an upgrade somewhere, and this only works on the server it's on. I would need to have ice everywhere, and I don't even have enough ice to have ice everywhere. So yeah, that's bad. Draw, restore from archives, shuffle. If this goes off and X is 1, it's actually really good. It's bury 1 big agenda I can't score, get 1 extra card, and restore 1 of the trashed assets that I really want back. But most of the time, it just costs 3 credits, 2 or 3 credits to get in. And it costs me 4 to res. They need to break it fully twice for it to even break even. At this point, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 money assets in a 44 card deck. So I could take an extra daily quest if I'm very inclined to, but I don't think I'm very inclined to, and I can always restore 2 of anything that I really need restored. How much ice do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ice. Yeah, we passed this ice. This Embolus isn't going to be good enough, I don't think. An extra daily quest to make sure I draw it is good. R&D. The runner may pay any number of credits to prevent 1 random card from store for every 2 credits spent. Well, that takes a while to read. There's no way they ever trash this. It just sits on the board until it's ready to go. Then I get rid of a few cards, and they immediately pay 2 credits because they know they can come and take those cards from my hand. Or they let it go because they don't have the ability to get it anyway, and I shouldn't have shuffled it. It's not a good deal for me. Now, I think we're on Bladderwort here. We're just going lateral. We're putting out Bladderwort, Refuge, daily quest with some token ice in front of it, and making 20 credits a turn. And if they keep trashing them, they keep taking tags. This is very good. We take that. This is pretty awful. Tempted to take SSL endorsement, to be honest. Think of it this way. SSL endorsement in 2 turns gives me 6 credits. That's just about enough to res my most expensive piece of ice by itself. 3 turns, it does better than, and it doesn't have to be scored in order. I think we take a second SSL endorsement. Yeah. How much does Meridian pay me off? If I'm going with 1 pointers, so that my ultimate scoring pattern is 8 points, sorry, 7 points, then a lot. Then I go SSL, send, that's 15. And Sting, Divested Trust, that's 18. Right? Wait, hang on, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 16, 17. I get 1 more 1-pointer, call it 18. And they take the Meridian. They need to steal 2 1-pointers or 3. They need to steal 4. I only need to score 3. I also think I had something that cares about the number of things in their area, right? No? Why did I think I had that? Maybe I saw it and didn't pick it. 4-2, that gives me an agenda counter, isn't actually that great. It helps me score a 3-1 in theory. In practice, it's 1 more turn I have to defend a server. There's nothing resembling an Astro Train or Fast Advance plan here. There's so many riders. If this was a 3 res 6 strength, it'd be amazing. But as a 6 res 3 strength, that can be clicked through, that can be trashed through, and that only does core damage if it does neither of those happen. I just can't deal with that. Yeah, we'll take a Meridian here, even if I never res it. Okay, there should be a cap of 3 offers of a card, because when the cards are bad and you get 10 offers, they're awful. CityWorks Project, though, with some of the ice I've got, could be good enough. Even more so if it comes in a position where my opponent has already taken, damage and core damage or something, and is having a hard time getting the cards together that they need to deal with me. Oh, I'm an idiot. Vladiska. That's possibly the only tag punishment in my deck if I take it. And there's a very high chance, if not off the bat, certainly at some point, of the runner deciding, you know what, I need to go tag me in order to have a shot. So that's the snap pick. We take that for sure. 2-1. Okay, now we're officially on the 5-3-5-3-2-1 plan. And if they put this one in their area when they're on 4 points, I shuffle it back. So yeah. Oh, and there's the extra sting. Oh, and there's a market forces. Okay, so now we have tag punishment times 2. What are we at? 8 more cards plus change to draft. That's really good. This is actually starting to come together. Like at the last minute, this deck is starting to have some teeth and some actual shape to it. They never ever trash this. They just let me have it forever. Whenever the run breaks a subroutine during one of the run, gain 2 credits if he or she is tagged. When you use this to walks through mid rest another install. If you do, the runner cannot use core and end the run. Maybe. What are we doing for us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Taxing Central, Taxing Central, Taxing Central, 10. Reasonable middle, Taxing Central, 9. Middling, 8. Remote, Taxing Central, 7. Remote-ish. Piece of junk. Yeah, we need more ice. This is the last money card I take. Promise. Ooh, Thimble Rig's really good. Thimble Rig lets me move everything where I need it when I need it. I really like Thimble Rig here. Yeah, we take those. Ancel is good. Degree Mill is not so good. In this format, the runner will probably have 2 things to shuffle. And I can't be on an all 5-3 plan when I have so few slots left for even picking them anymore. Data Loop's very good in general for being an irritant. The question is, how good is it for protecting my remote? Since did I take the 5-3? No, I didn't take the Wayland 5-3. So that the Meat Damage City Works project would have been very well protected with this, but I didn't take it. I think I take it just to have an excess of ice. I love the idea of slowing down the runner by making them by making them shuffle stuff into their hand and slow down again. And it also ruins their next 2 runs, and they will probably be tagged at some point. Yeah, we take this. I don't know how good it is, but we definitely take it. I mean, do we need the 3-2? I don't think we need the 3-2, right? We have 1, 2, 3 1-pointers, of which this one and so these 2 are particularly nice. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 points. And if we want to go slightly less, we can also stick an Atlas in there. But then that messes up the scoring pattern, so we probably don't do that. So yeah, okay, we take a data loop. That's fine. Big Deal is also really good as a closer because, again, if we hit the state of Bladder reversed, Bladder Refuge Nanotech Daily Quest NBN controlling the message with a side effect of 1 Wanza payoff and oh, he had to pay through a Phillips to get to my thing, Big Deal closes the game for us. Res cost of this ice is lowered by 1 credit for each res piece of code gate ice. Yeah, I don't care about that. I think that we need this because it lets us straight score the last 5-3 when we don't have a scoring plan. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to take this, but I don't think I have a choice. No, he needs to steal 3 agendas to win the game, and they all have to be 3-pointers, and there's 5 of those in the deck. Taking an extra global food initiative doesn't really matter there because let's say he steals that and 2 other 3-pointers, he still wins by the same margin. Unless I have 3 global foods and he gets all of them. It's like the Meridian argument. Meridian will never matter in this game because unless it's specifically to counteract the one-pointer, it doesn't do anything. And I don't need to counteract the one-pointer because I'm shuffling it back in. So, not helpful. Let's take Celeb Gift. I don't plan to use it, but you never know. Okay, how many Henry Phillips have I been offered? I'm very curious. You know what? I'm gonna break the rules and pull up my. Oh, this isn't a debug. This is the live, so I can't debug it. Good. Shouldn't be able to cheat. But I'm curious how many times I've said no to Henry Phillips this game. It has to have been at least 5 by now. Although, in fairness, if instead of Henry Phillips it was Prysek and I had 5 Pryseks, I mean, how fun would that have been? No, I think. What did I do? I think the meaning here is quite simple. We're on a tag deck. We have a Prysek to get you tagged. We have my ID to get you tagged. We have shipment from Vladisky Bisky to punish you for tags. We have what else? We have some ice that responds to being tagged a little bit. And now we have 1 market forces. Now we have 2 market forces. It's that simple. This is a bad ice. This is also a bad ice. This is a 2 credit give you a tag or a very expensive code gate that's irritating. And lo and behold, they got Henry Phillips in the flavor text. So if you're tagged, double tagged, I shipment from the Disc Burst. If you're singled or double tagged, I make you broke. I develop a gigantic board full of money, so I have infinite money. And then I need something to do with that money, and all I'm doing is rezzing a couple medium-sized barriers. Authenticator doesn't seem that good. It doesn't seem like this is what pushes you over the edge. Formicary. Formicary. I think we pass on Formicary, honestly. I don't see how it helps. How am I doing for killers, or sorry, for sentries in general? I've got an Nancy. That's good. Is this organized by subtype? Barrier, 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 code gate, code gate, code gate, code gate, code gate. That's a code gate, right? Yeah, it's a tiny code gate. Okay. I think that's a code gate, so these must all be my sentries, and it's a good mix. Howdy! Welcome! Oh, I'm doing a Peddler Draft. Drafting corp. I think at this point what I'm going to do is take the authenticator. It's a tag and you're past it. Well, how does that compare to this? It's take 2 net damage and you're past it. 2 net damage is more punishing than 1 tag. Oh, it's a new game mode I'm making. You make a deck out of semi-random cards that you choose from sets of 3. Draft rules. So Infinity Influence, 40 card deck, no matter what ID, and we can add priority requisition if your hand size to make the deck legal. Okay. What else we got here? I think we take the Formic carry and run with it. I don't think Jupstad is ever worth it in this deck, and I don't think this is ever worth it in this deck. So, hey, Henry, your 20th attempt, I'll say yes. Make sure you trash from any location card that matches the faction of the rooms identity. Place one power card that do one net damage. Ugh, no. No, no, no. They're all terrible. I'll take this one. Mausulus is great. Also, another Henry Phillips. Will we never be rid of this? Another Henry Phillips. This is so insane. No worries. Alrighty. Archangel's good. If you put Archangel and you have more money than your opponent, you can do some nasty things. Trieste model Bioroids. Do I have Bioroids? I've got one. I thought I had two, but it looks like I don't. Oh, I have a V Fairchild, so I have two. I think we take biased reporting instead. Although Resin Trieste model Bioroids to make on-cell unbreakable is such a good wombo combo, or unclickable. It's still breakable. No, it is in fact unbreakable. Runner card abilities cannot break subroutines. That's actually a really niche, but it's very solid. And here's the thing, if they see the Trieste, they might trash it or be afraid of it for the whole game. Because they don't know where my real ice is. Which is garbage. Okay, all of that is true, but here's the other thing. Biased reporting, they might just say, you're already rich, so get richer, I don't care. Don't trash my stuff, and then it does nothing. So Trieste actually might change the game state in a way it won't. And at this point, I think I've got enough money to become rich. All right, that's it. That's the deck. Let's export and give it a try. And why did that not work? Oh god, if that doesn't work, we're in real trouble here. Hang on. Might have just made a pop-up to download it or something. Export listed.txt. Inspect. Uncaught type error. Player deck A1 is undefined in export list. No, that's terrible. What went wrong? Oh, that's such a tragedy. Okay. Lucky for me, the deck itself is there. So I guess I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way and literally copy-paste this into the deck builder. And then we're going to have to figure out just what error, what fresh hell I've created here with my latest. As you can see, I've been doing a bunch of peddling. Oh, they don't have a 1 in front of them. That's the problem. That's fine. This is fixable. I'll just do this. Save my list. Oh man, turning on banned cards definitely changed things. Three bladder warts. But we're gonna have to. Oh, Wayland Consortium built to last. No, we definitely went. It was so cool when we picked up this ID halfway through and we're like, now we know what our whole game plan is. Because up until then we were floundering, and then that just kind of like gave us an actual plan. Oh no, we lost everything again. Can't use those signs. Got it. Looks like it stopped copying over at Trust. Divested Trust. Okay, we'll take a divested Trust. There shouldn't be 15. Oh, no. We have to start over. I messed up big. That's fine. This is why my export function needs to work. Otherwise, this is how irritating crossing things over is. And I need to go back and fix that before it becomes a problem for live players. I might actually run that at the end. I don't know. We'll see. We're never going to res Tithonium by its cheaty-faced way, but we might pay 9 credits to res it straight up. Unless, of course, they're face planting into it and it's going to trash their entire rig, at which point, you know, there's not a lot of value in. I'll lose a 2-point agenda if it's going to guarantee me scoring the rest of the points. Except I'm not. Yeah. Big deal might actually just be the closer this deck desperately needs. Who knows? Okay, there. We got 52 cards, 3 IDs purged. Pedal C. NBN. And now we need to cut about 8 cards to make it legal, and that's fine. We'll get to work on that. But first, worrying about other people. Let's get this glitch unglitched, shall we? Besides, at this point, I don't think I'm going to actually get to play a game with this tonight. I think what I'm going to do is offer somebody the opportunity to play against my draft deck that contains casual and illegal cards and see if they want to do it. I mean, it's up to them. I wouldn't say yes to playing against one, but maybe somebody else will be in the mood. Okay, so our code glitched out where? At the... export lists, player deck of a.card ID equal to player deck of a plus 1. Okay, so this is where it's glitching. Why? This is line 713. While player deck of a.card ID is equal to player deck of a plus 1.card ID. So Henry Phillips was equal to Henry Phillips. So it does this. Okay, here's the problem. Yep, I see the problem. I check that it's not the last card. Then I enter the loop, and I don't recheck it before I reloop. So I need to do that here as well. If A is equal to player deck dot length minus 1. In other words, if you've actually come to the last card, then no, that won't work. But you know what will work is moving that to here. While A is less than player dot deck of whatever, and player deck of a.card AD is equal to. In other words, if you have a chain of the same name going, and it's not the last card, and because the and operator is used, this will be checked first, and then if it breaks, this will happen. And hopefully that will do it. That will work. The other way to do it would be to define A as being the lower and then start from 1. Actually, that might be smarter. If I say A is equal to 1, no, then I missed the 0th card. Yeah, let's leave it at this for now. And we'll refresh this and give it a try, just make sure it works at all. So let's do 5 cards from the runner. This is obviously not going to make any sense, but that's fine. Wow, I got an undefined. That's bad. Sec test. Yeah, okay, no. Something went very wrong, probably because I was updating while I was playing. So we'll just do this. Get my cards. Nope, it's very broken here. All right, we're gonna have to go ahead and take this off stream to figure out. I think I don't know what's acting up here. Certainly me having edited the export to deck code shouldn't have broken the whole tool. Though, oh, you know what? 5 cards might actually be too few to accommodate even the smallest ratio, and that could be part of the problem. Let's try drafting 20 and see what happens. There we go. That's more like it. So now we have some IDs. I got some money, got diversion. What the devil is going on here? What is being offered to me here? Okay, that's good. And the P grid? What exactly is being shown in the player grid? Unknown card. An empty array is being pushed for some reason. And did that come out of the draft offer deck by any chance? Draft offer deck is solid. Everything in here is good. 0 and 1 are blank. That's odd. Did that happen at time of creation? Let's make a small card pool. And standard. Yeah, the first couple array spots, in fact, the very first 3 are turning up null objects for some reason. That suggests to me that there's a bug in the runner code specifically, because we just did the corp. So let's try the corp and see if we have the same problem. I doubt it. Let's click through real quick. Post-truth is fine. I don't know why they keep offering this card. Show of Force is okay. Mr. Hendrick is okay, but I mean, Svigator is probably better. Oh, Bacterial Plumbing was better. I should have gone with that. Buff. Cash. Managarm. Aziev. Oh, yes. Oh, but Maskirovka, but Cider. Yeah, it's all good. MCA. 2 1s. Okay, export list of text. Good. We fixed we fixed one break. Now let's figure out why the runner code is broken before we go. Cat run IDs is the problem for sure. Somehow the first ID round or all the ID rounds are going through null. So let a equal 0, a less than ID. If corporate runner is equal to runner, it is. If cat run IDs dot length is not equal to 0, it's not. If is full random, it's not. Else if is full random is 0, draft offer deck dot push. What are we pushing? Cat run IDs. That is the correct name. Dot splice tilt index cat run IDs dot length comma k comma 1. Oh, what the hell? Comma 1 brace? No, comma 1 end. Then brace, then brace. Then you don't need a double brace after that. Semicolon. Colon. There you go. Stupid glitch. We should probably go and correct that line in my offline. Should probably push all of this back to my offline just so that I have it corrected in both places. Okay. All right. That's all I'm going to do now. I don't want to wait too much longer to for an opponent, which may or may not be coming. But I heard a Discord sound. Let me check to see if that was a response to my looking for a game. Nope, that would have been timely, but no, I'm afraid not. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and build this deck. and see how people feel about that. But first, let's actually finish building the thing so that it's ready. We're definitely going to be doing cash. We're aiming for 18 points, which means we're not going to use the sandbox. Or this. If I have one Atlas, I'll never find it. And I'll have to score five threes for everything. If I have 15 minutes, I can score it for free. If I have divested trust, I can never afford to forfeit it unless it will literally save me the game. And then I'm behind by another agenda, which I can then score out with fast advance. So that actually might be okay to keep here. Sting goes for sure at that point. Is 19 allowed? Because I might prefer to have 2 3-1s so that he gets one, I get one. No. That's terrible logic. We don't need a Sting. We can win with this. Sting isn't going to win me the game. He's not going to take the Sting and take enough damage. Oh, wait, we're short points without the Sting. Well, then there you go. Sting for sure. Now we're at 18. That's the minimum. Now we need to lose 6 cards to go to 44. This shouldn't be too hard. Pricek is good. Mwanza is terrible, but I'll keep it. Henry Phillips could be very good eventually, maybe. Ganked is amazing. Ladisky Bursk is excellent. 2 market forces, and Ladisky Bursk basically. Oh, I have to add my Jackson Howard, right? You get 1 free Jackson Howard by draft law. What else? Let's look for ice that I will never ever want to use. Ever. Not even as a remote ice for a speed bump. Is this the one? If he takes a Meridian and takes a 3-1, he needs to find another 5-3 or another 3-1. If he takes the Meridian and finds a 5-3, then it doesn't matter. Having Meridian reduces the viable win targets from 8 to 5. Is that good enough? It might be. Messy Chesty is okay. It's expensive. It's expensive for an ice that does nothing. It's a 4 strength. I have to advance it, and that's really bad. I have no tricks to advance it with, and I have 19 ice, and I have to cut 6 cards. Should really consider cutting it. Reality 3D I can get rid of. I might be able to get 2 credits a turn off of it. More likely than not, I give him the ability to run cheaper or trash stuff cheaper or beat my traces. I don't have any means of removing the bad pub. Stragotic is awful. Let's say hypothetically it goes off 4 times. Am I going to click 4 times to deal 4 net damage? It's not going to kill him. I have very minimum surprise damage and very minimum bulk damage. He may not know it, but he's not going to... And if he's worried, he'll trash it. So yeah, no, that's Gonzo. What else? I keep talking myself into keeping really bad cards. Daily Quest is the better version of Reality 3D, but it has to be iced. Reality 3D I can put out naked, let him pay 7 credits, trash it, 4 credits to beat the trace, or 2 credits and a click to beat the tag. And if he doesn't, I get 2 credits a turn in perpetuity. He does get a bad pub though, which reduces the trash cost of all of this stuff by 1 since it'll all be out naked. I don't think it's actually that bad. I think 1 bad pub might be okay. For 2 credits a turn. And you never know, maybe you don't get any of this other stuff off. It's a sight better than frigging Henry Phillips. Where does Henry Phillips even go? Henry Phillips goes on my big scoring remote in the hope that he runs it while tagged. And if he's tagged, I don't want Henry Phillips paying me. I want friggin' market forces, big deal, paying me. So Henry Phillips, goodbye. You are not actually wanted. I'm sad I drafted 2 of you. I don't even know if I want 1 of you. If he would give a tag, if it was like gives 2 credits if tagged otherwise makes them tagged or something, that could have had potential. Maybe. I don't know. Here's the thought. If I cut a card and put the Atlas back in, I'm at 20. And then I'm playing a 49 card deck. For a Glacier, that might actually be okay. Yeah, but why would I want to do that? Why wouldn't I want to go faster and more reliably? Okay, why is Trieste model Bioroids here? Is it specifically for Fairchild, which already can't be clicked through? Actually, that is redonkulous. If you flip Trieste model Bioroids when they come into Fairchild, they pay 8 credits. No, they just end the run and bounce off the very first subroutine. It does nothing. Okay, so that's a non-bow. And on sell, trash a card, install a card from archives. Cannot steal or trash corp cards for the remainder of this turn. Okay. Oh, wait, is this the ganked combo? And then you gank them by reinstalling ganked. They can't trash the ganked, but I can trash it to make them. So I actually happen to have a full copy of the infinite trash combo in a wide asset deck that will very likely be able to leave Trieste in play for a very long time, while on sell just. But I need on sell and ganked, and I need them both. Yeah, but I have friends in high places. I can put ganked behind on sell on purpose. Okay, but if he breaks on sell and gets to the end and gets ganked into on sell and breaks it again, then the combo fizzles. Okay, but don't let him do that. Use your tags and your reversed accounts, and it's better than data loop, right? Data loop is 4 strength barrier and the run with a couple card. Oh, that's a very good tempo kill. Tempo knockdown. I have big, middle, and small ice, and I like all of them. So which ones do I hate or dislike? Sailor Adaptive Barrier. Self-adapting code wall. This is awful. This is awful. This goes. For sure. Yay, we made a cut after all that time. 1 Winchester is plenty, 2 is too many. Well, we only have 1. Good. When do I want Mwanza to fire? Anytime that he runs my hand and sees an asset and trashes it, CTM does not get to trigger. So I actually never want him to use that. However, he doesn't want to trash Mwanza because if he does, he pays 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 or whatever. It has to be HQ or R&D. If it's HQ and I don't have an agenda in hand, I don't mind him seeing my whole hand. But if I do have an agenda in hand, it's just so bad for me. I don't think I can ever safely play Mwanza on R&D because I'm giving away quad accesses and I have 0 protection, except maybe Archangel. So Mwanza is getting cut because in any situation I would want to play it, I shouldn't. Okay, getting closer. 3 more cuts. We can do this. If I cut Trieste, Meridian, we can cut Meridian. Well, no, not really. If he takes the Meridian, then half the agendas in my deck are useless to him. He would need doubles of 15 minutes, doubles of Sting, and Divested Trust, something. If I don't if he doesn't take Meridian, then he has 3 more targets. Yeah, Meridian is like removing 3 agendas in my deck from him. That's kind of worth it, right? I think it's worth it. And by that logic, the GFI was reasonable. I could have had 2 send a message, 1 GFI, 2 SSL. That would have been okay too. Live and learn. These are great cards. This is okay. This could potentially win me the game. This is cool, even in isolation. This requires him to have given up and yet still have money to go through a server and be breaking it knowing he's paying me. It's just so much if. I don't know when that ever happens. That's goodbye. That's goodbye. Can't believe I even took it. Nano etching is really good for what I'm doing here. Bladder wart's really good for what I'm doing here. Daily Quest is mediumly good. Refuge Campaign is very good. Reality 3D is actually super good, assuming that they can't leverage the free credits that much. I might not need Thimble Rig, actually. But it's always nice to be able to reposition your ice. And I'll always have something I can trash for Anvil if I really want him to rip his board apart for my amusement. So what are we at now? 2 more cuts? What if I trash Meridian, Divested Trust, and Sting, and put back in the Atlas? Divested Trust and Sting are just as hard to score as an Atlas is, right? This one is functionally a blank. This one is kind of sort of blank. I'm now looking for 2 agendas, but he is also looking for a smaller number. So the density hurts us both equally. I'm not paying for a piece of ice that is so situational and doesn't actually do as much. And I'm making my deck more consistent. Also, an over-advanced Atlas by 1 token could potentially be incredibly helpful in pulling together the rest of the deck. But it's saying that I have 20 card minimum. Why is that? Probably because of the ID. Yeah, because of the ID. But I'm legit. I'm at 44 cards, 18 agenda points. That is the correct number for this size. And yeah, this is actually not looking like a terrible deck. This is looking like a deck I would not want to play against. That's a good sign. All right, let's see if anybody wants to take me up on this. But if I don't get a game started shortly, I'm going to have to call it. And we'll just be satisfied that we got some coding done. We partially messed with the duplication code. And I'm super curious. I think what happens is this. I think that the probability of getting exactly 1 of 2 or 3 cards that are very close to whatever my K value is must be very high. In fact, while we're waiting for a game or not, let's take a look at the code exactly and see how it would respond. So we've got tilt index, array length, comma K, right? Okay. So let's run a local instance. Thank you. Let's say that we called tilt index for a smallish array of say 40 operations, and we want K to be 80%, right? What would come back? Well, those seem certainly random enough. I don't know if this works or not, but let's see. Nope, that does not work. Okay. I mean, it does feel random. I'm not going to pretend it's like the same duplicate over and over and over. It's definitely not just giving me the same 1 card each time. Maybe it truly is just a function of there's only so many econ cards in the game, and if I want to guarantee each player gets X amount offered to them, then I have to accept that they're going to see the same ones over and over because that's all that's available. And that's not an unreasonable position for the game to take. Oh, let's close out of all this stuff at this point. I'm not going to be pushing anything else up there. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to have any takers tonight, unfortunately. Oh, well. At least we got to play a game earlier today. That was super fun. And I can honestly say that I enjoyed building this deck just fine. Although that gives me a really nutty idea. I don't know if it will work or not. But I would need an alt. I think I have an alt. Oh, this is so crazy. Can I play against myself? I mean, I know what I'm doing and I know where everything is, so it's obviously not gonna be super good. But you guys don't know what I'm doing on the other side, so maybe it is good? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is so stupid. We're going to need to do a runner deck for him. What I'm going to do for that is use one of... I don't want to use a real deck that I actually really use. I'll use a runner deck that I've used before. Let's go with a pedal runner. Here's a pedal decked runner, and it looks like this was pedal decked from Eternal actually, which is good. But it's an earlier build of the engine. That's fine, and it's Steve Cambridge. Woof, not a good sign. Steve Cambridge is not easy to play as, though he does give you recursion, which you don't always have otherwise. Pedal pedal R, save and play, and select and play. All right, guys, you get to watch me play against myself. That's so funny. That's dumb. I'm gonna do this for 10 minutes, then quit. Call it unless it's actually proving to be fun. This is less about playing a game and more about seeing how viable this deck is. Well, 6 points in the opening hand is not viable, so we shuffle that away immediately. On the runner side, that's a mulligan. And this is actually exactly what Steve wants to see here, so he's quite happy. Oh yay, we got J-How on our first try. That's good. We've got Send a Tithonium. That's a good combo. I think we do Ladderwort. Yeah, so we're gonna do 1, 2, and HQ with no intention of resing it? No, 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 no. We take the risk of being siphoned because it's a draft format. The odds are against him actually doing it. And we draw a card instead, which we should have done before we put down 2 assets. If we had sequenced our turn correctly, we would have drawn this, and then we would have put this on HQ instead of installing the Bladderwort, instead of installing the Trieste. So I'm just going to give myself back that click because, I would have allowed a take back if I had known what I knew. So 1, so instead it was like install Bladderwort, draw a card. Oh, yeah, that's the good one. We put that on HQ and end the turn. Steve will promptly quick math here. Drop some money, gain some money, drop more money, run R&D, and take whatever's there. And nothing for his trouble. Perfect. All right, my turn. Oh, I forgot to do this, which is fine. I think Jacksoning away to try to get some of my ice is really good here. And since that didn't succeed, I think we either Jackson again and pitch all of the send a messages, or we drop a refuge campaign. And I'm leaning towards dropping the refuge campaign. We can already drop one of them. We can take the risk of another. We have an ice over HQ. New remote is fine. In the turn, ditch this. If you do that, he definitely runs it. Start turn. And as predicted, there's literally no reason for him not to run archives because it looks so suspicious, and I can't give him 3 points for nothing. So, did I just fork that up? Yeah, I did. Okay, shuffle that back in, please. Okay, no further actions. He definitely takes the credit though. Does he run blind on HQ? I mean, maybe. He's got very little to lose. I think he sets up a little here, so take more money. Run on R&D. Okie dokie. He doesn't have the breaker for that, but he wants to use Kate's ability, so let's install a sentry breaker, just so you have one ready. Okay, here we get some fun. Res, start of turn, drop low, bladderwort damage, and draw, and money, and money. And oh, wouldn't you look at that? We just plinked away Selassie, which there's no way he ever uses. I think we can start scoring here. If we install send a message, install it behind a big Tithonium and a small thimble rig. We don't need to get it out of our hand though, because he's not running right now. So maybe we don't bother. Yeah, new remote. That's the wrong order. That's the wrong order. You want to put the big one down first. New remote again, and drop this in it. Now he should be aware that I just drew a thimble rig, so he knows one of those is a thimble. I mean, he's got to. So does he go to town on all of my campaigns this turn? Click to gain 2 credits to go to 5. Second click run refuge, trash it for having 2 credits in hand. Purge, tag, and draw. That prevents me from getting 2 credits a turn. But the bladderwort's going to keep skinning him if he doesn't go after it. I think you draw once for sure. Ugh, you drew torch. Yeah, no, now you can't. So click for 2 credits is fine. You either go after the bladderwort or you go after the refuge campaign. Refuge campaign is to keep me poor. Bladderwort is to keep him from getting plinked to death. Bladderwort seems correct. Because you don't want to lose your decoder. And I'm perfectly okay with him getting tagged over this. And there's no way he pays to break it. And here he almost certainly removes the tag rather than losing the artist. And that leaves me free to start scoring, I guess? If I double advance this, he's showing no ability to get in. If he does get in, I get a Tithonium. Draw, I guess. Alright, start of turn. Dang, this seems hopeless for the runner. Gotta make the money somehow. Oh! No way! He gets to Kraken on server 7. That's really cool. Unfortunately for him, I have multiplies. He could have done that on HQ, actually, to keep me bare on HQ. That might have been nicer. But he doesn't know where the good stuff is. And obviously, I pitch the thimble rig, keep the good stuff. And at the start of my turn, score, send a message, res a free Tithonium. And yeah, this game is already off to the races. 3-0 lead, 9 credit ice resed, plenty of good stuff and money. If he starts going tag me at any point, I draw the market forces. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 taxi ice coming before I even have to worry about the SSL. And if he doesn't contest all my board and campaigns, I celeb gift and refuge campaign once or twice, and suddenly I have enough money to big deal out the SSL. I mean, I'm kind of just winning. And for those of you who are curious, let's go ahead and pull up our buddy here. So he was going to get a Siphon, and that would have hit. Whether I res Archangel or not, he would have dropped me to 0 credits. Actually, that's all he would have done. He wouldn't have actually killed me, just got me to 0 credits. I'm not going to let him get paid off. I would have bounced back some 3 creditor from his board or 4 creditor from his board. He might play Basilar Synth Gland to go up on clicks, but now he's very vulnerable to Archangel. He could lucky find, make a ton of money, get up to 10, maybe snipe an SSL, but I click shuffle this back in, he's back where he started. There are dirty laundry day jobs in his deck. It's not like he'll never get money, but just these cards that I'm looking at, and compare that to the fact that I already have a Refuge campaign ticking down, the ability to reinstall Bladder Ward and Refuge campaign to refuel myself to 10 credits right now. It's a uphill match. Oh, but look at this. 1, 2, 3 3-pointers back to back in a row. But if you big deal one and he's gone tag me for the other, I win. And if he hasn't gone tag me, well, then he's dealing with Turnpike, Mausulas, Winchester doesn't do it. No. Yeah, it's not a lost game for him, but it's a challenge. Onsell, keeping Onsell and Trieste was very dumb. I should not have done that. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I wish we had gotten a game in. I truly do, but we do with what we can. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.